Notre Dame is number one.
Notre Dame with a miracle win as the
He's going in. Notre Dame has scored.
Good week of practice today. Really pleased with the attention that our guys showed to the game plan. Today's, wrapping up your game plan day, and Stanford presents so many challenges, both offensively, defensively, and in the special teams. From an offensive standpoint, they're difficult because they protect their edges of their defense and they're physical inside, and no quarterback has really had much time to throw the ball on them. So a lot of work this week on finding ways that we can be successful offensively, and that requires some game planning. So I was pleased with the week and how it wrapped up today. Defensively, the same thing. Real good attention to what we have to accomplish against, again, a really physical team. The theme all week has been, we're going to be in for a physical, hard-nosed 4 quarters of just a one of those good old-fashioned backyard brawls. It's going to be that kind of game, and got our guys thinking about that on Monday and kept building through the week. So that's really been the theme this week for our football team, and I'm pleased the way they prepared for Stanford. No excuses, go play the game. Questions?
Do you prefer not having to wait till you had 3 night games in a row? I mean, as a coach, do you prefer playing a game during the day, just getting on with it, so you don't have to worry about the players through the whole morning, noon, and night?
I think it was the only time we did it. I'd probably be, a little bit more concerned about the night game versus the day game, but we've done a lot of it. So I think we feel comfortable in either schedule at this point. Again, the times that I've been concerned in my career have been those noon starts, when it's the first time you play a new game, because you're really jump starting your schedule then. But the 3:30 start, not much of a difference for me in our routines.
Brian, the offensive line, kind of to a man, reiterated your point about how physical they are and how they try to intimidate and having to step up their game.
They don't try, they do.
How that they intimidate and trying to step up their game to meet that intensity. Was that kind of the message because the first half last year you didn't, in the second half you did, and you just want to create, listen, we have to reach that level?
It's who we want to be. I mean, it's how we want to play the game. You saw us, we ran the ball. We've tried to exert that physical presence both on the offensive line and the defensive line. So it's who we're shaping up to be. So for us to go into a boxing match using probably a bad analogy and rope-a-dope, that's not how I want to play. I want to go in there and slug away. So I think that's kind of the demeanor that we want our football team to continue to take shape with.
And going forward, this would be the main step towards that, I would think. With you step
yeah, I mean, no question. Yeah, it's a championship bout, and you got 2 really good football teams. Should be a great game on Saturday.
Do you like your kids' toughness? I mean, getting down and dirty in a game like this?
I do. I think that we'll be able to go in there and play the kind of game we want to play. We've exhibited the kind of signs that would lead me to believe that we can play that kind of football.
And do you need to set a tone? I mean, do you need to be aggressive right away just to set that
Yeah, I
tone?
think any time that you can go and show how you're going to play the game, I think that sends a message. But they know ultimately that they can't win this playing a finesse game. They've got to win it by beating them at what they do well.
Going up there, any precautions with a small quarterback going against that defense, letting him loose? Just anything change with Golson?
Not really. I mean, certainly we're not going to run him 25, 30 times up inside. He's not built that way, but they better be aware of him. If they overplay the run, he can get out on the perimeter and he can attack their secondary. And I know they don't want that to happen. So, you know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things that, we're gonna make sure he does what we believe he can do within the realm of our offense.
Ryan, last week the players talked about the Thursday perfect practice actually was.
Yeah.
How close did they come to replicating that?
It was
today?
good.
How
Yeah.
important is that in terms of, okay, they're doing the work the way I want them to do it?
I think it's as they really understand the plan, they too understand how important Thursday is, because he's in the barn, if you will, on Thursday. So I think they're starting to understand how important it is to leave the field on Thursday knowing that they've prepared very well, because it's a confidence builder when you go into the weekend.
Did you feel like they built off last week?
Yeah, I can tell you that the people that needed to make some individual improvements made them during the week, and collectively as a team, when those individuals made the improvement, we moved up another step as a team.
The offensive line.
Still got to play on Saturday.
Yeah.
Still got to, I don't think Stanford's going to believe that we're better and they're not going to show up. I think they're still going to come here.
The offensive line talked about the multiple looks Stanford throws at you, and almost you have to anticipate you're going to see some stuff that you haven't prepared for, you haven't seen on tape. I guess, how do you try to work through those things? How common is that in a game where an opponent just throws something out that you didn't see coming, or you didn't practice for?
Yeah, well, I think a couple of answers to the question. First, repping specific inside notes, outside zone schemes. We're now into our 6th week, and we've been able to see a lot of different looks. Secondly, there's always going to be that unexpected look that you get that will make those adjustments, and we've been able to communicate them very well on the sideline. And then I think, thirdly is we feel like we're better at what we're doing at this point, that we can continue to do that regardless of what the look is. And that's just moving forward as an offense.
I didn't ask you, I think a couple weeks ago, about your kickoff coverage, and ideally you just boot it out of the end zone every time. Have you changed? Are you not trying to do that now, or? No, we're trying to. I mean, Kyle was off balance a couple of times on his approaches, but if he is balanced and has a great plant, he's going to kick it deep in the end zone. They had one return that I was not happy with, where the ball got outside our defense, but we did a really good job when they did in fact return it in terms of average field position. So that's not a concern of mine at this point.
Brian, kind of following up on one of Pete's questions about the offense, how has Chuck Martin fit into all this? We haven't talked to you a lot about him since the beginning of the season. Just the synthesis between the two of you, and again, his role when you are getting those unfamiliar looks.
Oh, he's huge in the offense. He's got a leadership position within the program, in particular as the coordinator. He sets a tone in practice, one which allows me to take a step back and spend more time on some of the details of the entire offense. We're both on the same page as to what we want to accomplish, and he's running the offense and its nomenclature, or its language, so it's really easy for me to hear. I can't underestimate that enough, how important it is to have somebody that knows your offense and can speak the same language on a day-to-day basis. So he's a huge piece in terms of what's going on, and I think that as we continue to identify our strengths and who we are offensively, we're only going to get better.
And then your running back situation, Theo healthy, and then if he is...
Yeah, he had a good week. He did. He had a little bit of an elbow strain. He's been in for treatment. He ran extremely well all week, didn't take any reps off. We got 3 guys that we're trying to get that balance. We struck it a little bit better last week, but it's going to be something that we're constantly keeping an eye on, and keeping those guys fresh and keep attacking defenses with 3 really good runners. And I think we all know about Cam, a very, very good running back that just don't have enough footballs for.
You want the players to kind of keep the hype down, but as far as the 12th man, the last couple of games seems like they've made.
Yeah, it was a great atmosphere for Michigan, and we hope and we expect it to be the same. Certainly, that we feed off that energy. There's no question about it. We just have to play. We have to play better than we did last week. We played better than we did against Michigan. We have to execute fundamentally. We have to be better. We have to be tougher. The crowd's not going to make a difference when it comes to proper technique on the outside scoop technique. You've got to do it. So there'll be times and places where that crowd will help us, but at the end of the day, it's on that group of guys to execute what we've taught them.
The pink that you'll be wearing, not just decoration for you, how important is that for you and your family?
Yeah, well, it's centered to our life story as a family, so it means something to everybody because it's always a personal story. Somebody's been touched with cancer in their family or extended family, so I think we all share, the same kind of understanding of what that pink means, and so I know I do, and my family does.
Brian, with Chase out for the year, do you feel like you have enough depth in your defensive ends, or is Jerron Jones still somebody that you're playing with as maybe being an option there?
Yeah, we're keeping him alive. He's taken a little bit of reps with the defense. Coach Elston works with him in pre-practice. We prefer that he studies this year and works on those things. But certainly if we do come up with some injuries, we feel like he's capable to come in and contribute and help our football team.
Anything else?
Good?
Great.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.